babies, we're gonna do a reading. I'm gonna do a reading. You do what you do. I'm not your mom. That's a crazy split though. Death and the Lovers. So giving death energy, which is ending cycles energy, and receiving lovers energy. We haven't done a reading in a while. I know. Es lo siento. So sorry. I had the most incredible hike today, and it has left me like fulfilled but drained at the same time. And I got my Bieber swoop going. Anywho. Okay. Ooh, I heard reclamation, like reclaim, like a reclamation of something. So you got the 10 of Swords, and then Strength, the 3 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. I feel like we've been tapping into this energy for quite some time now. So if you're watching these readings for, more than just one of them, I feel like we've been talking about this for a while, where it's like the finally, like I'm finally gonna do it. I'm finally gonna get this done. I'm finally gonna like take my healing seriously. And it's like, you're reclaiming what you're going through. You're reclaiming out of this victim mindset. So like while everyone else is falling out of victim mindset in like a pushy way, where like the universe or their spirit guides, whatever it is pushing them out of victim mindset, where it's like, no, like you're not gonna do this anymore. You're like starting with yourself. You're like, but I don't want to be a victim anymore, And like how some people like, I'm thinking of the idea that like some people go through their spiritual journey because they want to, and then some people are like forced to. And this is giving very much like, I wanna. I'm reclaiming this shit for myself. With the 3 of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, acknowledging that just because it's passionate doesn't mean it's good or aligned. Hold on. Grounded energy is the Chariot and the 2 of Cups reversed. So confirming the 2 of Cups reversed, we got the 8 of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and Judgment all crossed. What's coming in for you right now, and I say this coming in because it literally is coming in energy, you got the Chariot here, is you're recognizing in which way you're working too much for people, and people are showing up not to pour back into you, but like the Knight of Cups is showing up as receiving energy. Like someone's showing up as the Knight of Cups, but they're showing up with a cup for you to fill and not with a cup to fill you. Does that make sense? Like this is very draining energy. And what you're giving out is Judgment and the 8 of Pentacles, which is, I just want you to recognize that's what you're giving. I'm not saying like it's giving, but like, yeah, like that's what you're offering people, is like this, like, oh my God, I'm in distress, I'm in tears, but I'm gonna do this because I feel guilty, or I feel, necessary, or like I feel like I have to, and like you don't. You don't. Because when people are showing up for you, they're showing up in this Knight of Cups energy, but they're showing up in receiving Knight of Cups energy, not giving Knight of Cups energy. So they're showing up like spare change, and you're like, I'm struggling to breathe. What do you mean spare change? Yeah. Tapping into, and I don't want to say the Hermit as in like solitude, but tapping into autonomy. I want you, there's the Tower popping out here. So it's like you have the opportunity to have a Tower moment. I say because it didn't come out that it's not necessary for you to have a Tower moment, but if you want to, or if you can reframe it into something that's not bad, because a lot of people, they're like, Tower moments are bad. They're not. Also 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, and what is this? This is the King of Pentacles as well. I'm gonna put that back in there. There's this energy of stepping back into yourself and recognizing the 7 of Swords is coming out here, which to me always gives off this thought energy where you are thinking about like the wounds, like you're introspective of your wounds. There's this idea that some of your wounds, like they are of the ego and of the shadow, right? Which isn't bad, but it is, I don't want to say false, but false. Like you have created these realities for yourself. So you're recognizing in which way the fox is like sly, sneaky. You're recognizing in which way you have kind of sneakily created this reality for yourself with the Queen of Pentacles. This idea of what have I offered myself that with this Nine of Wands has put me in a position where I'm distraught, where I'm lost, where I'm fearful. And then the Devil reversed, again, coming in to kind of confirm that you're trying to get out of that and think for yourself. If you've been experiencing people trying to give you advice on something, whether that's good advice or bad advice, but they're trying to increasingly like advise you in a way that maybe you're not asking for, or in a way that it's like you just want to vent, but they're giving you advice that, they, you know, like it's like unrequited, you know, like it's this idea of like, I don't fucking want that, you know, like... You know, like I get that you're trying to help, and I get that you're trying to like do this, but like the way that you need to have some autonomy with your thoughts is really important here. Yeah, because it feels like this also, this card, okay, so the Ten of Pentacles just keeps popping out here. This card, she's like clutching her pearls. She's like clutching her heart. She's like confused. She's like, is this, one of the other readings I did kind of talked about the idea of like, use your instinct to guide you, right? So she's like, am I okay? Like my heart doesn't feel right. This is very much, there's a lot of green and blue. So heart chakra and throat chakra, which is your truth, speaking your truth, listening to your truth, you know, living your truth. So you got the Six of Swords and the High Priestess. There is, I want to see the Six of Swords. Sweet Jesus. Okay, you're walking away from something. The Tower keeps coming out, so it's like other people are trying to convince you to walk away from something that is in alignment with you, but because being in alignment with this thing or with this person or with this job or whatever, to take it as a reason, being in alignment with this thing will make you out of alignment with them. So like if this is A, B, and C, you're B, right? You're the middle person. C wants to get you to be in alignment with C, but you're in alignment with A. Does that make sense? So you're in alignment with A, but you can't be in alignment with A and C because you can't be in two places at once. You can. Nah, but take it as it resonates. But it's this idea of like they know getting this idea of like who benefits from you being in this mindset, who benefits from you feeling that like this way about yourself, who benefits from you being single, you know, like is there somebody that, you know, like you lead on or you flirt and they benefit from your singleness? And if it's like a relationship, who benefits from your free time? If it's a job, who benefits from that? Like who's trying to keep you out of, is that a gray hair? Hi baby, I love my gray hairs. Who's trying to keep you out of alignment for their, yeah, Nine of Pentacles confirming that, for their own benefit.
Just a bit too much.
So you got the Two of Wands and the Queen of Wands. I'm gonna flip this tower over. I don't think this has to be a whole big tower. This is one of those things where like it can be a lesson or you can be a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Like you can choose to self-introspect on this, like to self-initiate the introspection, to self-initiate this, or Spirit can do it for you. You know, like this is one of those things where you're wanting to be in alignment with yourself. So like the Tower, you can avoid the whole Tower moment because the Tower is like a force of nature, right? This element of like forcing you Like I'm pushing you out of the window. It's not like you're jumping. I'm pushing you out of the window. I feel like the energy of the tower can also be identified as like the Wheel of Fortune of like closing out cycles. But the tower is like, you're not fucking getting it. Like, you're not fucking getting it. No Flex Zone, the Nicki Minaj remix where she was like, that's me on your t-shirt. Split the deck to the lovers. Focus on me. Yeah. I feel like somebody doesn't know you as well as they think they do, and it's not because they haven't spent enough time with you. It's because they don't want to know you. They want to know the person that you are to them, but not you, right? And like if you can change, they're like, I don't want you to grow past what is comfortable for me to experience you as. The Queen of Wands talks about passion. The Queen of Wands talks about boundaries. The Queen of Wands also talks about destruction. That's Kali Ma. That's the energy of like, we could pele, you know, like we could really get it going. You know, like if you really want to push it there, like if you want to, crazy how I just shuffled and it went back to lovers. Like if you want to push it there, because the other song that I was seeing is like, focus on me. The Ariana Grande song, this idea of like somebody trying to be like, hey, eyes up here. Don't grow, don't go and don't grow. Don't do it. I'm right here. I'm also getting this idea of, this is going to be very specific. It's been coming up a lot. 10 things I hate about you. The lady was trying to sneak her prospective partner out of detention, and she flashed the teacher. This idea of like, we're gonna, you know, it's like this idea of like, they're gonna do something that's gonna be like, whoa, you know, because there is like, they see this introspection in you where you're like looking at like the different various things that you could be doing, but the world, oh wow. Sorry, I'm weird. The World and the Emperor, like, this is your fated path. It's not even about you, with all due respect. It's not, if the Lovers comes out again, I swear to God, because it's not even about you, you know, like, this is, there's no way a plane was moving that fast, and I had to be a bird. I saw it from a distance, but, like, in comparison to the birds that are around, like, my building, that was like a huge bird. Like a fucking eagle. With the World and the Emperor, it's connection to everything. I don't know if pears or like fruit is significant. That's like very significant for my eyesight right now. Eggplant. I don't know if someone's gonna like be like, hey, something, yeah. But like there's this energy of like, you healing this is also healing this, like B healing is also healing C. So like B choosing to be introspective and saying, I want to live for my own alignment and this and this and that is also asking C to do that. Because if C doesn't do that, like they could have like, I guess, and I don't want to say it because it really feels like you don't want that. Like you're like, good, like destruction is what's going on, because you're realizing that they were trying to like, they're like planting seeds of stress delusion in your mind, and you're like, I don't, even if we ever come into alignment, like I'm gonna remember the fact that you tried to delude me from what I was meant for. And I feel like it's gonna be because you recognize that they didn't want to let you go, like a very selfish energy. And this idea of like, no, like you're, you know, like this Four of Wands energy of, you know, like, I don't wanna let you go. They're fucking mine. I don't care. But like toxic, like very much like, I don't care if they're good for you or better for you than me. Like I'm what you need. The fuck? And it's like giving, I don't know where it like, imagery is very vivid of like sexual imagery of like trying to seduce you or like spreading nudes. I don't know, that's like so like teenage 2015 childish bullshit, but like that's kind of the energy, is like trying to like grab your attention on something, like this weird funky energy of like, I know you like this, or like this is what you need. I'm fucking weird. But with the world here coming out, it's very big on like, the world talks about all the elements, right? The world talks about like fire sign, fire, water, earth, metal, whatever, however you want to, air, you know, all the elements coming together. The world talks about completion. The world talks about all the elements of mind, body, and spirit, mother, father, son, the Holy Trinity, the idea of like the Triskelion. You're talking about, I also want to point out the birds in the back, is it's like, you know, you're gonna be flying away with this person, and it's gonna leave this other person at like in the background, like behind, but like you're not worried about that. You're like, I'm trying to live my life, and it's okay to let people go. Like, just because we've been, you know, like, it's like this idea of like, just because we've known each other for 16 years doesn't mean we have to know each other for the next 24. You know, like, if there's a lack of alignment, our paths no longer cross. Like, that's cool, man. That's cool, man. And like, that's okay. The emperor is the embodiment of the masculine energy. It's like this idea of like, you should want better for yourself. I want better for me. I understand that you don't want better for me because you think that I'm better for you, but I'm not better for you. It's okay to let me be. Because this is very much like divinely guided energy of like spirit team, ancestors are guiding this. So like, the same way that like you can have that introspection and not have that tower moment, they too can have B, can do it, the emperor B, and you know, whatever, whoever C is. I feel like if the emperor is B, then the empress is A. But like, whoever C is, like, you too can choose to reframe it and be like, okay, I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to be with such an amazing person, whatever it is, da-da-da-da. I understand that we're going in different directions, da-da-da. It sucks that I don't get to have what I think I want, or whatever it is. But like, it's very much like, you should want this introspection for yourself, because you can just let it go and let it like fizzle out. Or you can have like this explosive energy, this tower moment, where we talked about the tower moment, where it's like, you could be cut off in a way that's violent, aggressive, in a way that's like defensive, of like, you did what to me? You know, like this idea where it's like no opportunity for not even reconciliation, but forgiveness. And you can let it go in peace. Or you could just fuck it up to like such an extent where it's like, oh my God, like, you know, and the emperor is going to be like, he's the sword and the stone. Like, he's one of one. And just because you recognize that doesn't mean that changes his path, you know? Yeah, I'm thinking of the show Merlin, and how Morgana, she was like, I'm the rightful heir. Like, I'm like, I don't know if like this is like Guinevere, King Arthur, and then Morgana, where she's not really interested in like the love interest, but it's kind of this idea of like, she's trying to pin something on Morgana, or on Guinevere, where, you know, she's like, oh, Guinevere's doing A, B, and C with A, B, and C, and knowing that King Arthur's, you know, fucking King Arthur, he's not gonna want to share his queen, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is this energy of like, maybe it's not showing you things of like, look at me, but kind of like it's a violation is what it is. Like, trying to violate their character, trying to violate their essence in a way, to get you to see it in a different way. And I guess if you're the emperor, really consider that. And if you're, you know, the person C, or Morgana in this sense, choose yourself. Like, stop choosing other people that you know aren't aligned for you because of limerence or attachment. Like, you should want to be happy in your own life. Because I always say, like, in the twin flame journey, there's the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and then the karmic. And the karmic, in most divine masculine's journey, tries to put the divine feminine down because she considers herself to be the divine feminine and recognizes the divine masculine and doesn't want to let him go. So this is a very, like, much the same energy. I don't know, take it as it resonates. But what happens is, like, it's the idea of, like, you might be the baddest bitch on the block, just not my block. You are, as the karmic, you are somebody else's divine feminine, just not this one. And you look kind of like, look at yourself. When I was going through something, you know, in my life, and I really had to, I like looked at my situation, and I was like, Anya, look at yourself. That's fucking weird. You know, like, this is giving, like, weird. Like, that's what you, like, you're worth more than that. You deserve more than that. You deserve the happiness. You deserve the peace. You deserve the joy, all the different things. And if you're not getting it, why are you still, like, you look crazy. I was in a narcissistic relationship where I had to look at myself and be like, Anya, what the fuck are you doing? Look at yourself. And I had to break free from the delusions that I was being fed because I was like, oh my God. And then I started living a life more aligned with me. Couldn't be better. But it really takes that idea of, like, breaking out of it, because you can, I guess both you and this masculine are learning the same lesson. And because it's very, like, it's integrated, you're learning it about him and he's learning it about you. It's like you're magnets that are repelling against each other. And you're fighting it because it's like, oh, but what I've known her for, whatever, or like, I can't let him go because he's the love of my life and he just doesn't know it yet. Like, but it's not meant to be together. Like, that's why it keeps clashing. That's why it keeps, like, you know, and, like, you can, like, force it together, but I feel like that force is like a boiling pot, you know, like, it's a pressure cooker. You're putting a fucking potato in a fucking microwave without stabbing a hole in it, you know, like, it's this idea of, like, this, it's like cooking, it can pop at any point, and at that point you can't bring it back to what it was. Like, it's broken. But you can just stop pushing and be like, I can be whole and you can be whole, and we can be whole on separate paths. You know, like, I can find my own path and you have your own path. Anywho, thanks for coming to my TED Talk.